saw the amazing team Go Next receive the highest award for competitive play and, of course, receive that stunning championship trophy. And that was, of course, my debut into the Apex family. With Year 5 well underway, we now find ourselves here in the Big Easy for the first massive, big, colossal LAN of the season, which brings the Triple H's, the heat, the hype, and huge changes. Welcome, everyone, to the ALGS New Orleans Open. My name is Ryan Hart, and I'm going to be one of your guides throughout the next 4 days of intense action. But I'm not here alone. I've got Lace standing by in the pit, where sheer skill, determination, and true grit will decide a team's fate. Hey Lace, how's it going? Can you tell us a little bit more about what we can expect?
Absolutely, Ryan. With over 100 teams in this competition, this is ALGS' biggest one in history. And of course, without that, this is the first time we've actually implemented legend bans, along with 2 brand new maps, Broken Moon and E-District. So over the next 4 days, we're going to have 4 matches running at the same time. So absolutely chaotic, but that's exactly what we love about Apex Legends. It's going to be an absolutely crazy, fierce ride. And you know what? I'll be here alongside Ryan to bring you all the Apex action when the time happens. So, Ryan, but that's not without saying, you've got some familiar faces potentially that we want to introduce.
I do indeed. I've got some beautiful visages here, of course. 4 faces that will no doubt in the future be chiseled into statues for the New Orleans. Now, we got to talk about it. Over 100 teams in the mix, $1 million in the prize pool. This is going to be insane. But before we get into any of that, what did I just watch? You got to talk to me about this.
I mean, talk about putting your body on the line, man. You know, I do this for the ALGS. I love you guys. I love everybody watching. We actually had an amazing experience. Although they only cut to me screaming, which was part of the character, we had guys who had jumped over 23,000 times with the Red Bull Air Force taking us down. Timmy jumped twice that day, by the way. So shout out Timmy. He was actually a pro. And Hal, it was him and my first time doing it. Pretty amazing. I don't know if I need to do it again. You know, I just had a kid, so you usually skydive before you have a kid. But it was fun, man. It was amazing.
Definitely something to tick off the bucket list, no doubt. Now, Jameson, you know, we all went out for a local meal. Tell me, how do you feel about the local New Orleans cuisine?
Oh, I mean, it's fantastic. It's so great, right? I mean, coming from Los Angeles, we have great food out there, but coming down here, it's a completely different beast, right? We're not used to the jambalaya and the po' boys, but it was all well seasoned. It was great portions. That's the thing,
that's true,
right?
that's
I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy, so I like my portions, and they definitely, you know, treated us right.
Yeah,
definitely. If you like your flavors, they got it going on here in New Orleans, man. Everything was absolutely insane. Quality was ridiculous.
It was.
Portions definitely well balanced as well. So as you guys, you know, kick on with the show, I'm gonna kind of leave you out, tag out, let you guys get on with it. But I want to know, like, you know, with this many teams in the balance, right, all vying for that top spot, it's going to be insane, right? So maybe I think some of the viewers might value some insight in what they can expect from having a LAN with, which is already insane, but over 100 teams in the mix. What do you think about that piece?
I mean, I think that in general, now that there's more teams on the line, you also have faster rounds. Like, we're already going through Elim 1 today. That means people are leaving today. They just arrived and they could go home already. And, you know, the risk and the stakes are at the highest off the get-go, which I love, because in previous tournaments, it might have been, you know, a few days into the tournament before it starts heating up. But now you can't start cold anymore. You gotta pop off.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and also, you know, the other thing to think about is a lot of these teams may not have a lot of experience on LAN. They might be experienced in the game, but they've never played on LAN. This is going to be a huge experience for them.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, with that, I'll leave you guys to it, and I'll let you get on with the show.
Appreciate it. Ryan Hart joining us yet again. You know, Lace as well is going to be over there keeping us to date with what is going on. Zeph, he mentioned it, but just to kind of set the stage yet again, this is the biggest LAN that we've ever had in terms of players, but it's also a LAN that supports the grassroots style of what esports are. Apex kind of getting back to those roots in a way to allow teams that, yes, are our favorites. You look at Navi's, you look at some Virtus Pros coming in hot, you look at Falcons here, but there's also some teams people have never heard of that are playing all throughout these 3 and 4 days.
두 남자가 소파에 앉아 이야기를 나누는 것을 봅니다. 그들이 무슨 이야기를 나누고 있는지 알고 싶으십니다.
That's right. I mean, it's the first time that so many of these teams are getting the opportunity to compete in a competition of this level, which comes with its own pressure and nuances that so many of them have gotten the opportunity to watch at home, but now get to take part in as a participant.
How does that factor into it? I mean, Grace, you were talking a little bit about it,
그룹 1이랑
but how does
5만
that play? Do you think there's an
중계하니까
advantage in someone
페이스에이스를 열어서
in a tournament like this coming in fresh, not having experienced other ALGS style tournaments that are a little different? Or is there the advantage still to the pros, the vets, who know what it's like to be in a competitive space like this and what obviously getting to a match point finals looks like?
I think that in general, having veteran experience is definitely the most important part because you now know how to adapt. You know, some rounds might be considered easier. Now you're allowed to stomp the lobby. Some rounds might be harder. You have to play more disciplined. How many?
페이스로 완전 넘겨야겠다. 잠시만요.
Pretty much just a free for all.
CR은 그 그룹 5라서 중계가 공식 중계가 있고 4시 30분부터 시작이고요. 236은 공식 중계가 없어요. 그래서 개인 화면으로 봐야 돼요. 그거는 지금 이제 첫 타임 경기 시작합니다. 그룹 3. That guy's underrated. That guy's so good. This guy's good. So I hope that they come in with a fire because like I said, you go home 그룹을 아마 저는 볼 것 같아요. 페이스에이스로 개인 팀별 화면 볼 수 있거든요. 거기로 팀 한 4개 정도 띄워놓고 보지 않을까요?
This is going to have a fresh look, a fresh feel, but that's what's exciting about it. So let's walk you through the format over the next couple of days.
145 플러스 팀즈라고.
5 teams here to play. Normally an Apex Legends tournament is 40 teams. So think about that. 105 more teams than usual. We've got 8 series to play. And here's the graph that I expect you all to understand right away. I'm just kidding. You don't have to. It's pretty complicated when you look at it, but it's super simple when I tell you the next thing I'm about to say. We head to it. You essentially want to keep winning. And if you lose once, and by losing we mean you're in the bottom 10 of one of your groups, you have one more chance where you can be in the bottom 10. If you're in the bottom 10 twice, over the course of this tournament, you are out. That's essentially all it is. So what you want your favorite team to be doing is to stay in that top 10, to keep on playing. If they get bottom 10 one time, that's okay, but you hope they don't do it again because otherwise they are out. Jamerson, there are a lot of moving pieces into this, and not only just the players, it's going to be great to cover all of those new stories here on broadcast as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic because, like you had mentioned, this is a completely unheard of scale in terms of stage, right?
Yeah.
And that also means it's an unheard level of exposure.
Sure.
The amount of APAC North and APAC South teams that are here, more than we've ever had before. I mean, it's of course always going to be more than we've ever had before.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to be able to really see what these teams can actually bring throughout these days because it is going to be very trying. We were looking at that bracket just beforehand. If you end up in that lower bracket, it is just absolute hell. It's the gauntlet. It is the literal gauntlet.
It's gauntlet, man. I mean, I'd rather go skydiving again than be in that lower bracket. I'm not going to lie. Teams going home today, teams going home throughout the days. The stakes are high already. But speaking of who the teams who will be participating, let's get an eagle eye view over our squads. We've got all of the regions represented. Everyone from Pro League was invited alongside our Challenger Circuit team. You look at Americas, you see the names that are familiar. They stand out. 100 Thieves, that new roster in Falcons. Will the Fraggers have the final say, or will it be the IGLs on Falcons, former teammates, now enemies, representing the Americas? APAC North, you see the Fanatics, Riddle Order as well. Teams that have been there. Crazy Raccoon with Obley, a land winner in our split one of last year. Can he do it again here in a different venue? America seems to do well for that team in particular. APAC South also representing, you see Heroes, they've been with us for so long and continue to impress. And I think, Graceful, as you continue to look at this, there's so many different teams that we know, especially in EMEA.
Yeah, there's plenty of teams that we know. We haven't really seen them in the beginning that haven't had, like I said, a spotlight, but now they're here. But these are all players that we all recognize, that we have played, we have scrimmed against, we have played with them. They just haven't just made it, but now they're here because this is such a big land. And they're finally here, ready to prove themselves.
And in the same way, Zeph, some people that we don't recognize are also here, but could be the moment that they... Some, but it could be in the moment that, with these teams qualifying from the Challenger Circuit in different ways, they're trying to make a name for themselves, Ben.
I think being a part of this community, trying to make a name for yourself has been a big part of so many of these teams' identity for so long. And so at this LAN, you can see it already in some of the audience and the fandoms out there. There are these little niche groups of rosters that have come through with this support system that is here to see them play for the very first time on LAN, even if they haven't been on Pro League or have competed previously.
I mean, the other aspect, too, we'll get into it in a minute, but there's some new things in Apex as well that these players have to deal with. Not just the new names, the rosters, there's new elements to the game that we will hopefully dive in on desk, or I'm sure the casters will fill you in very soon. But today, let's take a look at the schedule coming up for you watching at home, or if you're in the venue with us in New Orleans. We've got ourselves 4 great
어라? 어라? 236 어디 갔지? 오. 중계 화면이 있네? 음... 236 어디 갔지? 운영 찐빠난 것 같은데? 음... 공식 중계조차도 없어졌어.
Whether that be that you don't really have the cold hands on land, whether that be in high heated scenarios that you can still perform. VP is one of the teams, you know, leading with Zach as well, who has had also throughout the years a lot of ups and downs, you know, everything from Mazer moments to now. I think the Zach, the one that we cherish and we all cheer for, has finally proven his final form. He's at the top now.
And he's a guy that has a lot to kind of go to prove in many ways. He's still looking for his moment of, I guess, catharsis, where he comes out and says, I actually have achieved what many people think my possible potential might give lay ground for, because there's a lot of stories here. I feel like we're going to be surprised this tournament, Jamerson, you know, with who kind of shows up, who takes the narrative, because it is different. It is a little bit like avoiding mines in terms of surviving all these elimination brackets and making it to the very end. Looking at Group 1, though, who do you have your eye on?
Yeah, throughout this group, of course, we were talking about some amazing performances. We have to talk about, of course, the quick turnaround that we have from Pro League to this LAN. And so when we look at day 3 of performance throughout EMEA and NA, we have to talk about Nemesis. Nemesis had a standout performance when it came to the last EMEA match day. And they had a little bit of a slow start on day number 1 for them, right? It was match day number 2, but in day number 3, they absolutely showed up. Take a look at that conversion rate in terms of top 10s, right? Huge. Nothing less than top 10, right? Top 8, nothing less than top 8. But the fact that they were able to get 4th 3 times and a win on Broken Moon, but also add on kill points along the way. So
얘네가 또 팀 네메시스라는 팀이구나. 처음 보는 팀이네. CC 팀인가 보네.
They were involved in a lot of fights, and it really does come down to their ballistic pick. I want to really say, I think they utilized it extremely well. We didn't get to see it as much, but the ballistic does provide. I want to talk a little bit more about that when we can.
어디 갔지? 제일 위에 거라고요? 이거예요? 아 이거는 그건데.
Masters are going to get into some of the biggest things.
지금 개인 화면 찐빠보다 그냥 236 화면이요. 136 조가 없는데.
Well, our casters always have an idea heading into it. Not always the right idea. I'm included in that. But let's see what our talent predictions are as we look at our tournament coming up here in New Orleans. Because for me, this is something that I'll lean with mine first, LG. I'm kind of going with a team that has shown that they can be together and consistently stay together. I think that's important, especially when you're in this environment where there's 100 more teams than before. I mean, people who know each other, I mean, that's becoming more and more of a commodity. So I liked them. However, we see Virtus Pro for the rest of the talent. Let's go to that next page and see where you guys land. Graceful, I'll start with you. Virtus Pro, we already know why you're picking them. You guys, here's the thing, Ben, you didn't highlight Virtus Pro, but you picked him. What's going on?
I just understand the quality of having the background of experience. I mean, come on, top 5 coming out of champs.
No, you know what it was? He was on Reddit in the green room. He saw what Reddit was going to pick. And
I love Reddit.
This guy loves Reddit, by the way. I hope Reddit loves you. They should.
위그 혹시 위그에만 지금 이걸 보고 있는 건가?
And it's time to get into where there is no love lost, of course, the competition. But if you want to watch the competition the way that only you can with Face It, then I'm here to tell you all about it. Because Face It Watch is your non-stop spot to check out every rotation, every big play, and every team comm that you want to see. If there's a squad here in the open, maybe not getting enough coverage, but you've been following them.
아 정말 링크로 들어가도 페이스 236 매치가 안 보이는데? PBM 클럽 봐야 되나? 이건 좀 내가 이 화질로 봐야 돼?
And they're going to be in these opening rounds. They're going to look to be very aggressive.
For sure. So one thing too that I saw a lot of pros talking about that I heard a little ramble about was the triple take. Dude, pros are now rocking the triple take all the time. They're saying it's their best marksman rifle. Some squads, a lot of APAC North teams are starting to use it more, and EMEA. And speaking of that, GG now going to move on up. And this guy's rocking the R99, R301 combo. The R400 is crazy. White now moving up. Here we go. They take the team back. Oh my! Look at that. That guy just literally transcended. Where did he even go?
The distance you can go on the Alter TP is just crazy.
It's insane, bro. The distance is truly immaculate.
But yeah, I mean, you know, if you guys are watching scrims at home, the quality already, even in this game 1, round 1, is already better than any scrim game we saw.
Yeah, I mean, scrims are an absolute fuck fest, bro. It's terrible, to be honest. It is what it is, but you can't really do much about it. Scrims have been like that since literally 02. Ever since we started watching scrims, they've always been dog shit, and that's just how it is. Chat, thank you all again for being here, man. Dude, there's just no feeling like starting a lane. Like, I'm so excited. I get goosebumps. I start getting teary-eyed. Thank you all so much for being here so fast. I really don't know how, like, we're really trying to figure this out for the LGS Open. It's not an easy thing to watch party, so for everyone being patient with us, just say thank you. Just want to say thank you so much already. It is a new experience for us, just like it is for you guys for viewing. So we're all right, well, nothing really happening right now. Falcon's still over in wall. Reignite is going for the full wraparound, bro. They are literally going from all the way in the back of Nutsacks to move through all the way to the back of wall. And it's a pretty good rotate. Only issue is here, man, if they stumble onto a team.
Falcons is kind of looking for it, though.
Yeah. I mean, Falcons has to pay attention to their backside at wall. This is really the only
운영진파 진짜 레전드.
does get aggressive.
And look at that zone pull. It actually pulls out into the compound right on top of 10K.
Wait, no way. Are you right? Oh, my God. So Cash Money in that beautiful, succulent bald head gets a perfect zone call here, man, for game number 1 in winners round 1, lobby 3.
Yeah, this is a hell of a zone call from Cash. Honestly, I feel like we've seen him make this type of call before.
Yep. Okay.
And, you know, they have both control of the buildings. Obviously, as the round is going to progress, that they're going to have to give one of them up. My guess is the smaller one, for sure.
Well, I think so, too. You give up the small one, right? You play big building?
Yeah,
You're saying? Yeah, for sure. All right, shots going down by Kai. Dude, Kai's also a great player.
Very talented.
I will say, though, Kai does not let Cash talk shit to him like that, bro. Kai low-key gets after him. Here we go. Fight now maybe from Gamblers versus GG on Greek screen. GG is now moving up underneath where the boys at Gamblers are at. RR now fighting. Here we go. The fight's going to break out. It's going to be Resi in a 1v1, and that boy hits the digital dash. He is gone. Yeah, but
he's going to be looking for a crafter here.
Yeah, he's going to try to leave. It is only round 2, so he can eat Storm and immediately go back.
Finisher,
yeah, the finisher is crazy. GG now stumbling into another squad, now rotating up. And again, bro, you got to expect the unexpected in these lobbies. So many players are not experienced at LAN, and they're going to make some dicey decisions that maybe put other teams on edge in a really awkward spot. And that was one of the main things. We will maybe see some upsets this weekend. We truly might.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could be some good teams going out here in round 1. Just like you said, though, is it likely that there's going to be a bunch of teams who have never played in a pro league making the finals? Probably not.
Right.
Is it possible?
Yes.
Anything is possible.
Anything. It's a low chance, bro, but even a low chance still has a possibility.
It's better than no chance.
This guy's a genius. All right, Omid Sang now going down. It's going to be Roy getting knocks. Saw that man Roy, one of the fan favorites here over in ALGS. If you know him, you love him. Omid Sang now getting knocked on your screen. Cody getting the rest here, too, trying to stick it.
Should be able to get this off. I don't think they're getting...
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
The nade's coming in from LLG, and now RKN is going to be running away here looking for a reset. Where the fuck did those nades come from?
Why did you just say that? That guy got annihilated. And RKN catching that like he caught his 401k.
지금 떠난 거
He's a
보니까
retiree,
그냥
man. That boy
안
old
켜야
as hell.
겠다. 다들 저기 중콤씨 혹은 에임보님 방송 켰으니까 그쪽에 보러 가세요. 236 화면 못 보니까 굳이